Hey, beautiful. So, what does it mean to be polite? Being polite when you are out in public and when you are out and about and uh, in a professional setting is completely different to when you're at the supermarket or when you're at church or when you're at the mall. It just depends on the kind of setting you're in. But politeness is relative to each of those environments, but in different ways. For example, let's say you're at school. Maybe you're a teenager or a young adult and you are still going to classes and you're still in school. So when you go to school, when you are polite, you consider the well-being of others just like you consider the well-being of yourself, right? So when you go to class, you will make sure that you turn your cell phone off so it doesn't ring. You would make sure that, when you sit down and all of that, you're not making noises and everything to draw attention to yourself or to distract the class from paying attention to the teacher. You will give the teacher your undivided attention. And in that way, it's like you are actually giving what you are going to get in return, right? What you give is what you get in return, right? That's how the universe works. It's all about energy, which is in one of my previous videos. And when when we talk about being polite, right? When you walk into a room, it is polite to say good morning. When you walk into a room, it is polite to say good afternoon. When you walk into a room, it is polite to say hello, good evening. That is polite. It is not required, but being polite makes you stand out from friends, from other coworkers, from people at church, from everybody, from family. You stand out when you are polite, because being polite is not the norm these days. You go online and you see all of the behaviors that are going on. People are shooting up each other in the schools. For example, there's bullying. There is a lot of fighting going on. People are dropping out. There's all kind of things that's going on. But the bottom line is, right? When you are polite and when you are a lady, people respect you and you stand out from your friends and from your peers. You stand out from other coworkers. You stand out from everybody else when you carry yourself like a lady, right? You are not quick to fight. If somebody come up to you and they're like, oh, like they're ready to fight and they're ready for something to go down, you don't give in to that. You're just like, okay. So what you're saying is that if you're in an office, you try to keep it business, try to get back to the point regarding, the issue or whatever policy or whatever the issue is at hand. And always get a manager or a third party involved so that you are not trying to defend yourself with this person that's trying to defend your character, that's trying to ruin your character. That happens a lot in work environments. But when you are polite, even when somebody is chewing your head off and you are polite, and polite doesn't mean that you are taken to be a doormat. Polite does not mean that you're taken to be, stupid or easy to run over or what is the word? Or scared or fearful. Being polite means that you're being a lady even when someone else is not. Even when you're being chewed out by a supervisor, maybe it's not a female, maybe it's a male, right? You stand your ground by being polite and by not just being polite, but, being a lady. And I talked in another video about being calm and the keys to remaining calm, even when you're in the midst of conflict. And that is so critical. Trust me, when other people are looking at you, when you are in a conflict and you handle it with class, there's nothing like it. When you handle it with class, people don't forget you ever. Okay? And the word will get around. Wow, you should have seen how she handled that conflict. Wow, you should have seen, how she handled herself when this and this happened. I'm not saying that it's easy. It is never easy to be calm or to not respond when somebody is chewing your head off or yelling at you or up in your face or whatever. I'm saying also, second point to that is, if you need to remove yourself for your own safety, remove yourself. Absolutely yes. If you are in an environment where you're saying, please lower your voice because I feel unsafe right now. And if you don't lower your voice and lower your tone, I will leave because right now I do not feel safe. If they don't listen to that request, you leave. Okay? If you at work and that situation comes up with that person, you leave that room, you go get a supervisor, HR, report it to HR, whatever you have to do, get out of that room, go to your office, blah, 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 whatever you have to do to get to your own space and seclude yourself from that person and tell whoever you need to tell, a supervisor or whoever, what happened and that you do not feel safe around that person. That person will look bad, not you. Okay? Because you're sticking to the pack, the fact that this person is making you feel unsafe in a work environment. At school, it's the same thing. Okay? Somebody's trying to bully you, trying to make you feel scared of them because they're a bully and they like, to make people feel inferior and all of that. That's that. You don't have to react. Again, respond, not react. You don't have to react. You tell a teacher about it. If the teacher doesn't do anything about it, tell the principal about it. If the principal doesn't do anything about it, call me. Right? Call me. I'll do something about it. Of course, if you're not where I live, you're in the state where I live, it's impossible. But on a serious note, right? You never want to exchange violence for violence because that ends up deadly. Okay, in a lot of cases, and we see a lot of that going on in today's world, and that's something you don't want to do. But the reason why I do this channel is that I am always educating girls and women on how to carry themselves not only as beautiful queens, but to carry themselves as leaders and as queens in today's society, because there's not enough of us out there. And when you are set apart as a queen, you speak like a queen, you conduct yourself like a queen, you dress like a queen, you eat like a queen, the people you hang around are queens. So, you really, really have some standards to uphold. So fighting is not an option. You do not fight under any circumstances in public. No, ever. You stay calm, and this is difficult. I'm not saying that this is an easy thing to practice because it hasn't been easy for me, but trust me, with years and years of practice, I have gotten to the place where I've been chewed out by people in stores, cashiers or whoever, and I'm just there in my phone, pay the money, and I'm out of there. It's like that person didn't even exist to me, right? And so that's what I have learned to do, is stay in my body and not allow other people to get me outside of character, right? And get me to get in a verbal match with them. And then all of a sudden now we fighting verbally and having a argument. And, that takes so much energy to argue with somebody about, just craziness. When you look back at it, you're like, oh my God, it didn't even make sense. And the worst thing is if you argue with somebody you have to work with, like a manager or coworker, and you have to go back to work and see them again, the worst. The thing you want to do is practice being calm, staying in your own body, Don't allow people to get you out of the body. If there's somebody who makes you feel unsafe, let them know that clearly. I don't appreciate you yelling at me. I feel unsafe right now. And if you do not lower your voice and if you don't speak to me appropriately, I'm going to be forced to leave. I will leave. Okay? And if they don't listen, you say, I'm going to tell you one more time. You know, if you do not lower your voice and if you do not talk to me better than that and lower your voice and talk to me like a grown adult, I will be forced to leave. I will have to leave because right now I don't feel safe. In school, you're a teenager or you're in school. It don't matter what age you are, if you're looking at this video and you know you're in school and you're having an issue with somebody who is very, very disrespectful to you and all of that, you can also articulate that. I don't appreciate you talking to me that way. And I would like for you to lower your voice. If you don't lower your voice, I will leave because I don't feel safe. And walk away and report them. And report them. That's the important thing, is to report them so it doesn't happen again. Okay? And sometimes that helps, sometimes it doesn't. But the point is, you have articulated your boundaries to them. So they know when it comes to yelling and all of that with you, they will understand that that does not work. If it happens again and again and again, hey, you'll have to escalate the issue. If you have to go all the way to the top, do that. But never, ever, ever allow them to get you out of your character as a lady, out of your God-given role and your God-given identity as a queen. Never, ever allow anyone to force you to take your crown off, to get in the bushes with them and to get in the mud with them because they're pigs and they like wrestling. Okay? Pigs love mud. They were born to wrestle. They were born to be in the mud. Some people are born to be in the mud. Okay? So here you are with your queen here you are with your crown as a queen, taking your crown off to go in the mud to wrestle with them and then trying to come back out and put your crown back on. Practice keeping that crown on no matter what. Okay? I'm going to do some more videos to give you some techniques on how to, resolve conflict diplomatically as a queen would. I'm going to develop some videos on dress for success and conflict management, anger management, dealing with peer pressure. All of these things are things that we all have to deal with, regardless of the age. So I'm going to have a lot of videos coming out, but I wanted to share this quick video with you just so you kind of have an idea of how, what it's like, to deal with yourself and to not allow yourself to come out of your identity as a queen. You want to stand in it. You want to stand in your role and you want to stand in your identity. And when you articulate your boundaries, to people, they tend to never forget what you say. So know that you can speak your mind, but do so with class. Do so with dignity. Do so as if you're literally wearing a crown while you're talking to that person. You are in your queenly stance while you're talking to them, and they cannot get you out of that. Never, ever, ever allow them to get you out of that. Okay? So, conflict management is a big deal, and I'm going to have a part 2 because it's going on a while now that I've been on this video. So I'm going to have a part 2 to this video. And for now, those are the nuggets that I want you to take away. And it's all about being a queen. Know that you are loved. Know that you are amazing and that this is your day.